afternoon live pop in because I wanted to talk real quickly about my blog post from last month. I guess it went out last week, and it's about this idea of spring cleaning, right? And spring is this time of rebirth and kind of a new life, but it's also a perfect time, and this is going to sound weird, it's a perfect time to start planning what 2026 is going to look like for you and your family. So if you are kind of coming to the end of the school year and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get through one last family vacation, and then I'm going to tell my spouse that I think it's better if we get divorced or, separate. It's really the time to have that conversation is now. Families that work with family transitions typically are in the same house at the start. And we find that that really is a great scenario because if you can have a compassionate conversation with your spouse about, hey, I think it's time that we start figuring out what this is going to look like down the road. And then the summer actually becomes a perfect transition time period. So you want to, while you're all in the same house, think about what does it look like when we're in separate houses and how do we get there? So what all of the research shows is that just like slow and steady is far less traumatic on your family, especially on your children. So I'm not a therapist. They might disagree with me, but I think of it, the analogy is sudden change is traumatic change, right? If you suddenly lose a job or someone suddenly and unexpectedly passes away, that sudden change is really hard no matter how old you are. And it's really, really important that if we're dealing with your kids, that we are really slowly allowing them to adjust to whatever the new arrangement is going to be. So I love working with families over the summer because we can say, well, think about, let's start doing this a little bit now, even while you're in the same house. Think about, do you want to be in two houses, by the beginning of August, the middle of August, kind of the sweet spot there is a couple of weeks at least before school starts. And then you can have the kids adjust into whatever the new arrangement looks like. But if you did something like that, starting the process in the spring, that means you could be moving into two houses by the start of school if you wanted to. You then could really plan out, well, maybe we'll do this after Halloween, but you can have all of this time when things are not as busy and not as chaotic to really reflect and think about what would work best. And no matter what you decide to do about the two houses, you know that come the end of this calendar year, at least families who work with family transitions, they have the ability to have their entire settlement agreement wrapped up and signed. If you start now, you would expect that to certainly be the case before the end of this calendar year. So that might sound like a long time, but it's light years faster than regular divorce. And if you are interested in finding out more about how that works, just head to our website. It's ftdivorcecoaching.com and schedule a call, and I will explain how the process actually works step by step. And then we'll get you paired with a mediator if you would like to start planning what 2026 looks like. Thanks so much.